The New Yorker's Andy Borowitz recently posted this satirical article about Ted Cruz with the headline, "Cruz's constant references to Jesus drive millions to atheism." Funny, and not that far from the truth. I think if Ted Cruz becomes competitive in the race, or, dare I say it, if he gets the GOP nomination, he could actually become the atheist movement's best friend over the next year. Think about it. This is someone who freely mixes church and state. This is someone who announces candidacy at a fundamentalist Christian school. He frequently references his faith when talking about policy, and that sets off a lot of alarms to those of us who support church-state separation, and that includes a lot of Christians. Cruz is getting more popular and more well-known, and that makes him not only one of the more prominent politicians in this country, it makes him one of the more prominent Christians. I mean, he exudes this Huckabee-level devotion to the idea of merging faith and politics. More importantly, Cruz openly talks about issues like LGBT rights, women's rights, climate change, evolution. These are all issues Republicans would be wise to avoid over the next couple of years. Because lately, when social issues become the focal point of a state or national campaign, Republicans tend to lose. It's going to be fascinating watching them navigate LGBT rights issues over the next year because they know their stance is really unpopular, even though their base is vehemently anti-gay. Many Republicans even avoided signing on to a Supreme Court brief against nationwide marriage equality because they know this is such a toxic issue for them. They don't want another Todd Akin, especially as they're watching what happens to Indiana's governor Mike Pence in the wake of his anti-LGBT legislation. You think Ted Cruz is going to avoid these issues? Of course not. They're going to become the center point of his entire campaign. So why is that good for the rest of us? Because even young Christians cringe at the way Republicans handle these issues. As Cruz gets more popular, he becomes kind of this definition of what it means to be a Christian. It's not accurate, I'll admit, but it happens. And that means a lot of young Christians are going to want to shy away from that label because he doesn't represent them. They don't want to be associated with him. Maybe they'll start to doubt their faith entirely because they don't want to be part of a religion that inflicts so much damage upon society, which is what would happen if Ted Cruz got his way. It takes someone as extreme as Ted Cruz to make them realize how awful their beliefs actually are. I firmly believe the presidency of George W. Bush did as much, if not more, to drive people away from faith than anything the New Atheists ever wrote. And when it comes to public pronouncements of faith, Ted Cruz is like George W. Bush on steroids. Now, if Cruz becomes president, that would be a problem. That would be a disaster. But I don't think that's going to happen. So you can laugh at the Borowitz article all you want, but realize it's really not that much of a joke. My name is Hemant Mehta, and I write at friendlyatheist.com. What do you want to see a video about? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll be sure to check it out.